Happy Sunday afternoon to every one of you out there, and thank you for watching this short little video. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Sunday's my favorite day of the week. Every day is God's day, but Sunday just seems so special. But hey, I was thinking about back in 1981, there was a storm they called the Perfect Storm, and the Andrea Gale, a short little fishing boat, about 27 feet fishing boat, went out sword fishing with 5 men. And they had done this fishing boat trip many times before. But this time the Andrea Gale would not come back because it hit a full-blown ocean hurricane. In fact, it said from 1891 to 1991, they were the strongest waves and winds ever calculated. 2,000 years before the Andrea Gale set sea and entered the perfect storm, there was another perfect storm, and it was in the Sea of Galilee. And Jesus and all of the disciples had gotten on a boat. They just fed the 5,000, a big miracle. And Jesus told the disciples, let's get in the boat and get to the other side. Well, Luke has a really good account of this story because he talks about how there was other little boats out there in the Sea of Galilee, but how that Jesus was in the boat of the disciples. Well, there's the mountains of Israel on one side and the Golan Heights on the other side. And when the cold air reaches down and gets the warmth of the sea like that, it can turn into a perfect storm on the Sea of Galilee. And that's exactly what happened. So the disciples go and they say, Jesus, teacher, wake up. Don't you care that we're going to perish? And Jesus was sleeping. The only time it said he was sleeping. He got up and he said, peace be still to the winds and the waves. And it was an amazing miracle, a bigger miracle than we even realize. Not only did the storm stop, but the winds and the waves and all the residual effects of the storm that usually take a while to stop, they stopped immediately too. You know what? The disciples had just seen the miracles of Jesus, but they weren't ready to believe for the next miracle. It's just like us. Sometimes we need to have more faith during the midst of the storms. Because, hey, listen, here's the deal. There's no panic in heaven. There's only peace in heaven. And if we can remember that when we're going through the storm, if Jesus, we know for sure Jesus is in our boat. And if we can just say, like he said, he's the peace speaker, peace be still, then all the residual effects can stop immediately. There's no panic in heaven, only plans. God has good plans for you and for me. And the disciples, they were in that storm that day, not because they did anything wrong. Jesus said in Mark 4, let's get into the boat and go to the other side. Jesus took them through that storm. They needed to get through to get to the other side. If you're in a storm today, it's not necessarily your fault. If you know Jesus is with you, you just remember you're going to get through that storm. You're going to get through, and God has good plans for you. Amen. Well, if you need somewhere to go for Bible study, I'd like to invite you to Blue Nest. It's a women's Bible study, all ages and all stages of life, and we meet the second Monday night of every month at C3 Trinity Church at 4300 Cole Avenue. We meet at 6:30 p.m. and we're done around 7:45 p.m. I'd love to have you come. We're going to start our series called Raindrops and how to navigate through the storms of life. I would really like it if you'd come. And also, if you'd come down and introduce yourself to me, and if you'd let me pray for you. That would be my great honor to do that for you. God bless you. Remember, there's no panic. There's only plans in heaven. And God has you right in the center of his will. Take good care. Bye-bye.